so I'm talking to myself. Let me get this up and running. Excuse me. And it says I'm not even, there we go. Oh, we gotta edit that picture. Excuse me. Okay, let's edit this thumbnail because it is not my first choice, but good morning. Sorry, also, I thought I had the appropriate document open. I do not. One second. Sorry. I'm not even in the chat yet. So if you're saying anything, I'm sorry, I'm missing it right now. There we go. But good morning, everyone. One person. Good morning, one person who's in here. Where is my right document? There it is. Okay. Go back to this. No, go back to my live stream. Technical difficulties. I'm sorry. You on YouTube. That should work. It's loading. It's loading. Hey, Kyle. Good morning. I forget that I get little chat pop-ups on my phone as I'm streaming, so I can't actually see that. Okay, that's good. Okay, good morning, everybody. We got a few more of you in the chat. Hi, Escape. I just do monthly live streams. This one, I pick a topic every month. If you're brand new, I pick a topic every month and I kind of discuss it for a bit. But then I open it up to a Q&A, whether it's in regards to the topic or it's just questions in general. Whatever you guys want. I'm mostly just here to hang out and because I like to interact with everybody live, because with my regular videos I don't really get to do that. Today's topic is going to be reframing spell intentions, or kind of coming at spells from different angles. My mouth is already dry. It's too early. But good morning, everybody. Welcome. Feel free to filter in and say good morning or good afternoon, whatever time it is for you and where you're at. You can also start popping questions into the chat now, because I will get to them when I'm, done with my little monologue. Hey, Kara, good morning. Okie dokie. So, and of course I'm on the wrong script. Come on, Tiff. Okay, so I want to talk about looking at spells from different angles, or intentions, I should say. Sometimes it's important to examine intentions and kind of reevaluate them, whether that's because you're kind of having an ethical dilemma over, should I cast this spell? This is kind of a gray area. I don't know about it. Or if you've been doing spells and the intentions that you're using just aren't working. Like if you're using one intention and you did a spell and it didn't work, and then you tried it again, maybe tweaked the spell a little bit, and again, it didn't work. Maybe it's not the spell that needs tweaking, but the intention. And this is specifically in regards to kind of having sort of rewording, but more, like I said, coming at it from a different angle, as opposed to just like, oh, I accidentally didn't put this in the present tense, or or maybe I wasn't specific enough, or I was too specific. That's not so much what I'm talking about today, which, if you are unaware, I did cover that in a couple different videos, one of them being 10 reasons why spells sometimes don't work. There was another one I put out recently, I can't remember. Okay. But so if you like, let's talk about ethics, right? So if you're considering casting a spell on another person without their consent, this can create an ethical dilemma, even if you're doing it with good intentions. So oh, it was my when to not cast a spell video. That's what it was. I talked about like if you cast a breakup spell for somebody who's in an abusive relationship, and if the victim is in immediate danger, once again, like do whatever you want. I'm not going to hold that against you. If the person is in immediate danger, like cast a spell, call the cops, whatever you got to do. But if not, and you break up that relationship, you kind of take away the victim's chance to find enough self love, to find enough outside support, enough strength, internal strength to leave on their own. So in that video, I did say, like, so instead, why not cast a spell on yourself for patience, to give yourself enough strength to provide them support? Things like that. Again, that's just reframing it, coming at it from a different angle. And so there are a ton of ways you can go about supporting that friend without taking their control and their chance for growth away from them. Now that's just one example, but like let's look at love spells. Okay, that's I see love spells come up a lot on, especially like on Reddit. I'm on the Reddit witchcraft, paganism, and occult and magic subreddits a lot. And I see a lot of questions about love spells and a lot of people saying don't do them. I have my own opinions on them, which I'm coming out with a video, I think this week, about, you know, things you should consider before you cast a love spell. So I'm not going to elaborate on this topic too much, but casting a love spell on another person without their consent is controlling. It is manipulative. Because you are, again, you are toying with that person's emotions, you are messing with their mind, essentially taking control and away from them, basically. It's manipulative. So why not cast a confidence spell on yourself? Give yourself a boost of confidence, because A, you're much more likely to get noticed by this person when you just are more confident in yourself, and B, you are gonna, you know, maybe find it in yourself to, hey, approach them first, ask them out on a date. You know, why not cast a spell to open the lines of communication, or even just one for luck? So maybe you'll run into them, or maybe they'll view you in a better light, or something like that. Like, just, there's a lot to consider there. Like I said, I'm not going to elaborate on the love spells too much because I am covering that in a different video. But I did want to touch on that because it is one of those very common ethical dilemma spells. And also, I know that just now I didn't cover aspects of like, well, maybe you're already in a relationship with this person, and you know, I'll cover that this week in that love spell video. Actually, I said maybe this week, but I'll just commit to it. I will release that video this week. But other times you may need to think outside of the box on setting intentions, is when your spells just aren't working. Like I said, you've done the spell, it didn't work, and then you did you put a spell on me? Because sorry, I just saw that pop up and I had to take a break and read it. I did not, but I guess that's just natural love. What was I saying? This is why I have a script, because I'll lose my train of thought. Yeah, like if your spells just aren't working, you've tried it, you've tweaked it, you've tried it again, you tweaked it, you tried it again. Well, maybe it's not so much about making little tweaks here, it's about shifting your perspective. It's about changing, you know, like taking the issue, spin it around a little bit, get some more looks at it from different angles. Because there's usually more than one way to solve any problem. And if you're casting spells for one thing, and the universe is going, sorry, that just can't be fulfilled right now, then find an alternative route. Find another way to accomplish what you want that isn't, you know, I talk a lot about the universe will find the path of least resistance, but sometimes there's unforeseen resistance on a certain path, so you need to take another one. So So say you're working in a toxic environment and you've been casting spells to get HR to step in and handle the problem, maybe take notice of the problem, or a spell to keep your workplace calm, rid of negativity. Maybe instead cast a spell to find a new job if those aren't working. Or even a spell to get moved to a different department. Hey, maybe all you need is a promotion and it'll give you the authority to handle the situation on your own. Or what things that you that you take to HR get taken more seriously. I mean, I hope nobody's dealing with that. Nobody should have to deal with that crap, but it happens. But that was one example. I was actually I remember writing this script and I meant to come back to it because I was having problems coming up with examples. But so these are kind of lame, I'll admit. But here's another example. I was doing spells for specific auditions I was going to. I was having auditions for film work, short film, commercials. This was a few years ago, and I was going to all these different auditions, and before each one, either the night before or the morning of, if it was later in the day, I was doing spells for them for success and to make me stand out. But I wasn't getting, excuse me, sorry, I don't know what is the deal this morning with my throat. I think it's just allergies, but it's driving me nuts. I need my coffee. Okay. But yeah, I was pretty consistently just not booking roles in this time. Or I was, but it was really few and far between. And then they would say, well, we liked your audition, but we don't know if you're a fit for that role. So here's a smaller role, and it's less pay, fewer lines, less exposure, blah, blah, blah. So I decided to try another spell to draw casting to my headshots and to my reels, because that's another way. If you're not familiar with the industry, if you're on a lot of casting websites and you have all different profiles out, sometimes casting directors will come across you. So that's what I did. I cast a spell on all of those profiles. I don't think actually it was all of them. This was a while ago, so I'm trying to remember. I don't think it was all of them, but I think it was like the top the three most popular casting websites. I cast spells specifically on my profile to draw attention to them, to make them stand out, to make, when they search all these actors, they have these little tiny thumbnails that they just scroll through and they're just scrolling by them really fast. So I did spells to make those headshots, make my particular headshots really stand out, to draw on their attention. And so maybe a week later, I got an email from someone who had come across my profile, thought I was a perfect fit for the role. We didn't even do a formal audition. We just sort of got on a Zoom call it wasn't Zoom at the time, a video call. That's what I'm looking for. And chatted, and I got the role. And then a few days after that, my name had been passed along through word of mouth to another director who was trying to cast a role. And it's like I said, it's just finding different routes. So if you're trying to explore that and figure out like, okay, what's a different way to attack this, journal about it, meditate on it, and make a list. That's what I would do, is make a list of all the possible ways a particular issue can be fixed. A problem can be solved. Like, make a list of all these different ways it can be fixed. If you have a troublesome neighbor, like maybe they move away, maybe things calm down in their life and they stop being such an asshole. Maybe, you guys are able to fully communicate and compromise. Maybe the landlord gets involved. That's 4 right there. That's 4 different ways. Hopefully you're not getting them booted from their house, but hey, maybe you open up a really good opportunity for them to move. I'm not saying like get them evicted or something, but that right there is 4 different ways, and I'm sure there are more to solve that problem. So start off with the most realistic solution. What's probably the easiest route for you to go? Universe likes the path of least resistance, as I keep saying. Set that as your first intention. And if that doesn't work, you can revisit it and maybe try another intention. The next most realistic, easiest solution. Really get creative with it. That's my favorite saying. And that is it for my topic. That one was short and sweet, as opposed to last month's where I was just rambling about life's problems. Okay. Veronica, good morning. I'm so excited to see you in here. Tammy, good morning. So that opens it up. If you have questions on that specific topic or just questions in general, feel free to put them in the chat. I didn't put any love spells on anybody, I promise. But that's very flattering that you thought so. I also do plan on doing, I talked about this, I think, in my vlog last month, that I do want to start doing, oh, sorry, I'm dropping things over here. My selenite. What was I saying? 3-item polls. So towards the end of the live stream, I wanted to start doing some 3-item polls for maybe like 3 to 5 people in the chat, whoever wants one. You don't need to talk about whatever your issue is. You don't need to put your personal, problems in the chat if you're not comfortable with it. You can just focus on either your question in your mind, or you can just kind of open yourself up to any messages the universe or whoever's out there that you typically communicate with, whether that is spirit guide, deity, what have you, ancestors. Open yourself up to a message and we'll see what you get. I'm not doing like the full bag. I'm not going to toss everything out because that would just take a really long time. But we'll do 3-item polls for a few people. So yeah. You guys are awfully quiet this morning. That's fine, but I have no more things to talk about. I'm actually gonna, give me 1 second. I'm refreshing things. Okay. I did also activate Super Chat, which I don't really know what that is. Not gonna lie. It does cost money though. So like if you aren't familiar with it, or you don't want to use it, don't go spending money on it. YouTube gave me the option, activate Super Chat and people can use stickers or something. And I was like, okay, somebody might want to use it. You guys, I'm really good at advertising. If you couldn't tell, I'm really good at advertising. Wow, I have a serious lag on my laptop this morning. Hey, Kara, again, hello. Who are your biggest witchy or spiritual inspirations? The Dalai Lama is the first one that comes to mind. Obviously, I'm not a Buddhist, but off the top of my head, that's the first one. I have more for actual pagans and witches, but I think it was after I kind of came out of my Christianity phase in my late teens that I started exploring Buddhism. And I think at the time I just didn't have the patience for it, to be perfectly honest. But I found him to be such an inspirational person and leader in general. And I still watch any chance I get. I watch documentaries. I also think he's very adorable. I don't mean for that to sound condescending, but it's true. I watched this one documentary where he was being interviewed, but he also kept getting distracted by this animal documentary he was watching on TV. It was so cute. But anyway, it's just that the stuff that he's been through in his life, and the fact that he, just has that inner strength and inner peace to, first of all, lead a Buddhist lifestyle after you've been through everything he's gone through. And not only that, but be an inspiration and be a religious leader to millions, or maybe it's billions, I don't know, probably millions, I think. I don't know. Millions of people is just, that's awe-inspiring, in my opinion. As for witchy, now I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I'm not gonna lie, I like to hop to different um like authors and different YouTubers and podcasters because I like to get a broad. There's some people that I definitely like really like Mickey Mueller. I love Mickey Mueller. Um which she's on YouTube and but she's also an author. She is on YouTube, Mickey Mueller. That I will link it in the description box if you guys haven't checked out her videos. I just love her so much. Um, Margot Adler, who she's passed away now, but she wrote the book Drawing Down the Moon. And it's more of like a historical context of a historical and sociological look at neo-paganism. And I just found her work to be like, she has a huge section on feminism that I really enjoyed. And she just puts in a very good unbiased perspective for a lot of things. And she also, that was one of the first books that I read when I started exploring the craft. And I reread it again a few years later, and I should actually, I'm like scheduled to reread it again one more time because every time I reread it, I get more out of it. And right off the bat, I just related to her so much. Like, I'll be honest, I related to her because she talks about her early experiences, how in childhood she was really drawn to the Greek pantheon and Greek mythology. And when she realized that she could be a witch, it was just this amazing transformative experience that really altered her whole life. And I related to that a lot. And then what else? I was gonna say something else about her. No matter what part of my path I've been on, I've always kind of related to her journey and to what she's had to say. And she was also just, that book was so informative on giving you just a little taste of different types of magic. Like she does, or traditions, I should say. Like she does talk about Wicca, but she also talks about straight paganism. She also talks about chaos magic. That was the very first time I'd heard about chaos magic. She talks about the Kabbalion, like, or the Kabbalah and the Kabbalion. Yeah, yeah. She talks about, if I'm pronouncing that right. I've never known if I'm pronouncing that word right or not. But you know, she talks about Rosicrucianism, like, and it's just a little tidbits, enough to get you started if you want to go. Now this has turned into like a book review basically, but I just appreciated that book so much. Some other people I've really enjoyed are the writers over at oh my gosh, I can't think of the website's name now. It'll come back to me, but Pathos, or Pathos, I don't know. Keldon is a wonderful author. His stuff is very informative. He does have a lot on YouTube. I don't think he's like, he's not like, you know, he's not on a schedule for his YouTube channel, but the stuff he puts on his YouTube, like he sprinkles out every now and again. I actually need to check his YouTube to see if he has any new videos. But the stuff he puts out there is so informative. It's so detailed. That's another one. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I always tell myself like live streaming's so easy. And then somebody asks me a question. I'm just like, I don't know. Everything, all knowledge I have has now been forgotten all of a sudden. But yeah, if I think of some more, I'll let you know, because that's actually a really good question. I really like that. But I've always just been drawn to mostly eclectics, but also people who are just very open-minded, and people, and not necessarily just those who provide information, but those, you know, like I try to provide information. Margot Adler is an author, obviously she tries to as well, but also people who just are just part of the community, who, you know, they do write informative articles because they have, like, I'm trying to think, oh my gosh, there's one woman who, she does a lot of activist work as like both within the pagan community, but also as a part of her practice. And she started a foundation based on that. Oh my gosh, I can't think of her name or the name of the group at all, but I know for me that that was hugely inspirational, especially because I do view activism as a part of my craft. It's not something I like to talk about a huge amount on the channel, just because it does, political opinions start to seep in there, and I don't like, obviously I'm liberal. I think that's pretty apparent. But I try not to make that. I don't want to like my information and my channel to feel inaccessible to people who are not necessarily liberals or don't agree with all of my political opinions, because this is not a political channel. So I don't talk about it too much, but I think one thing we can all agree on is I do donate a lot to animal shelters. That's a big one. And there's a couple of there's one group in Washington, D.C. that does a lot of work with trying to work with legislature to remove like animal testing and make like farms and things more humane, basically, for animals and things like that. But I totally got off track, and I'm just my brain just totally went somewhere else. I totally got off topic, but it is such a good book. Yeah, anybody, if you have not read Drawing Down the Moon by Margot Adler, the other great thing about, just go get it, go read it. It's big, but it's so good. You're gonna learn so much and relate. So she also interviews a lot of different witches in there too. So even if you don't relate directly to Margot, you will relate to somebody in there. I almost 99% guarantee it. It's so informative. And it was, although it's like an educational book, it was I love her tone of speaking, or writing, I should say. It's not, I don't want to call it conversational necessarily, but it's light. It's not this dense, academic read. It's so good. And I think she first published it in the 70s, but she continuously kind of updated it. I think the most recent edition came out in, I think, 2006. She did pass away, so unfortunately I don't think there will be any more editions, but it's kept up to date. It's kept with the times. It's, so yeah, highly recommend that one. Okay. What else we got? You guys have more questions for me? The chat's a little, oh, so that's one thing I was going to bring up. I was considering, I was going to say the chat's a little quiet this morning, but that's fine. Like I said, I'm just here to hang out. So if you guys don't have questions, some of the regulars aren't here to chit chat with, which is fine. I'm sorry. I don't want to, now I'm all paranoid that I sound like I'm complaining, you guys aren't talking. Which I'm not. I'm just explaining why I'm at this. I'm I don't know what else to say. I had nothing else planned for this. But I was considering, let me know what your guys' thoughts are. And if you're watching this later on after the live stream is over and you're in the comments, please let me know. I was considering pushing back the live stream to 9 a.m. California time. So adjust that to, your time zone. But I was considering pushing it back to 9 a.m. just because I think that'll maybe, I don't know. It's a Sunday morning. I don't know if people want to, if you're in the same time zone as me, want to be at the computer this early, or if you've got other things to do Sunday mornings, or I don't know. I was just considering pushing it back. Because also sometimes, I get up at 6 every day, but I still, even in those 2 hours, I'm I've got the live stream. I've got so much to do for the live stream. And then I just stress myself out completely unnecessarily, for absolutely no reason, but I do that to myself. So let me know what you guys think about pushing the live stream back a little bit. Let's see. There was one question I had. Actually, it's a question that keeps popping up. So I may as well just address it here because I have nothing else to talk about. People keep asking me, I know my hair is not that nice looking right now. People keep asking me about my hair, how I get it so bouncy and curly and everything. And I will tell you, I will put this in the description box. If you have curly, wavy, frizzy hair, if you think oh, my hair is not curly, it's just got this little to it, because that's what I used to think. My hair was just frizzy and kind of wavy. Go to reddit.com /r/curly hair and check out, they have a pinned post at the very top that will give you like the beginner's guide, FAQ, all that stuff on what to do. I didn't know for 30 years that there were specific products that you should not use in curly hair. I didn't know it. Like, I knew there were products that were like, this is for curly hair, but and I tried those and they didn't really do anything for me. Just go there. It'll be totally worth your time. It's called the Curly Girl / Guy Method, and it is amazing. It's amazing. These are my results. My in-laws are staying at my house, so I escaped to the gas station on the street. Kara, oh my God, I'm dying. That's so funny. Oh yeah, Kara knows. Kara can give a tutorial on that method because I remember sharing that with you. That is so funny. I'm curious though, are they like, did you just need like some peace to watch? First of all, thank you. That's so awesome that you like, oh, I'm so flattered that you were like, I gotta catch Tiff's live stream, but I gotta leave the house. So I'm curious. I can't stop laughing because now I'm like picturing it too. Like, hey guys, I'm just gonna like run to the store real fast and then just like, that's something I would do. That's freaking hilarious. Okay, I need to calm down. So I'm curious, like, did you just need like some peace to watch the live stream, or do they not know you're practicing and you didn't want them to overhear the live stream? I'm just curious, which it is. But I hope aside from having to hide in your car, you're having a good time with your in-laws. That's so funny. Okay, yeah, I think I'll probably make a couple announcements and then start next month, 9 a.m. for the... I'm sorry, I cannot stop picturing this. That is so funny. You totally made my morning. That's hilarious. Now I'm also curious. So did you actually have to feed someone's cat and you're doing this, or was that just like not true at all? This is so funny. Oh my gosh. You totally made my whole morning. That's hilarious. Okay. Go ahead and answer that. But yeah, I did want to share that about the curly girl / guy, because guys can use it too. There's actually, I see pictures of guys who have, this is tangled, who have adopted the method, like posting their progress pictures for their hair in that subreddit, and they look amazing. Even like if they have shorter hair, it just looks so good. Their hair just looks so healthy and vibrant and stuff. So guys and girls, go check that out for sure. I highly recommend it. Okay. Oh, I used to be a pet sitter too. Did we talk about this? I feel like maybe it was somebody else. When I first moved to Orange County, I had hired somebody to sit my rabbit when we did like a weekend in Vegas. Okay, yeah. Oh, it was a total lie. Oh, that's... I get that way too when people are visiting, and I'm just like, I love that you're here and I miss you so much. I love spending time with you, but I need a moment. That is so funny. What was I saying? I don't know. Oh yeah, no, when I first moved to Orange County, I was doing pet sitting for a while because I had hired a woman, and then it was like the third day of my trip, and she contacted me to just say like, hey, Yokai's doing well, gave me a little update and pictures of him and stuff. And then she was like, hey, do you need a job, by the way? And at that point, I was actually looking for a job because I was still studying for my NASM exam, which is NASM's for personal training. So I was also a pet sitter, and I loved it. I didn't make enough money, but because it just wasn't, for various factors. But I miss pet sitting. It was like, I get to see all of the animals every day. This is amazing. And I was out walking all the time because he had all those dogs to walk and everything. Okay, let's move on to the bone throwing. So, like I said, I'm just going to do a 3-item poll for whoever wants it. You can think of a specific question, or you can just open yourself up, just give a little like hands up, or hey, me, like in the chat, let me know. And yeah, you can either think of a specific question, or you can just open yourself up to a message from the universe, or you can also think of the question, or you can put it in the chat. But if you don't want to share personal things like that, I totally understand, and it's not necessary. I'm just going to do a 3-item poll. I'll tell you what each item means and represents, and then I will kind of give you, sometimes it's hard to give a general summary out of context, like if I don't know exactly what your question is, but that's okay. I will just fumble through it a little bit. So as long as you guys don't mind that, that's fine. All right, I have my selenite to get these cleansed. I'm wondering what everybody's doing this morning, that we're missing a lot of our regulars. I get worried about people. If somebody's usually attending at something at a certain time and they're not there, I'm like, where did they go? I watch too much true crime. I just did this with a friend yesterday. I was like, I haven't heard from her all day. And I knew she had plans. I knew she was visiting someone, but I was still like, is she okay? I need to call her. Like, I watch way too much true crime because I'm always like worried about people. Okay, pull that out. Anybody want one? I go. All right, I'm gonna take a break for just a moment, get some coffee, get some water. Just feel free to pop in the chat. Yeah, let's do that. I like that. Let's do a collective one for everybody who's watching right now. Let me just, don't judge me. I'm gonna vape real fast. Okay, sorry. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's do a collective one. For everybody in the chat right now, I'm just going to focus on like, yeah, what you guys need to focus on for today, or something that you need to know. Okay. Okay, sorry. I always feel awkward on camera when I'm on camera and I'm like charging something. Okay, here we go. I like to kind of gently shake them out. So, all right. I wish you guys could see what I'm doing. Sorry, I should have moved the camera. Okay. This came out in that order. Interesting. Sorry, I still have to look up my key because some of the items are a little newer, so I still have to look up my my little sorry, my list of meanings for all of them. Sorry, I don't know, my brain is just not fully functional today. See, that's another reason why I want to move it to 9, because I feel like I'm always saying that. Like, sorry guys, my brain is just not functioning yet. It's Sunday morning, blah blah blah. Okay. So first up we have a cowrie shell, which this in this set for me represents sensitivity, self-consciousness, hiding something internally, maybe being fearful. Then we have the star anise, which can represent purification, blessing, and having trust. So already that's very interesting. And the final thing we have, actually, yeah, wow, this is a pentagram. And so this one just in this set represents magic. I think this, are you guys with me? Like, this seems pretty straightforward. So yeah, you guys need to, if there's something, this is the way I'm interpreting this anyway. So you can also feel free to have your own interpretations, just based off of knowing what those stand for in my set specifically. So if there is something in magic or a spell that you're considering, a path you are considering exploring, but it scares you a little bit, or maybe you feel self-conscious about your skills, about your abilities as a witch, or magician, or what, wizard, whatever term you, as a magical practitioner, I should say, or even just as a pagan, maybe getting more out there into the community, is something like that, like you're considering, but it scares you. You need to just have trust. Have trust in yourself, have trust in your magic, have faith in the universe, because it is there to support you. Magic doesn't give you, how do I want to phrase this? I was thinking about this yesterday. This was actually something I was kind of like just thinking over, but so it's interesting that this popped up. Magic isn't power. It is just a way to harness the power you already have, if that makes sense. And you need to have faith in that. So if any of you are struggling with anything, whether, and like I said, whether that's an external fear, like I'm considering contacting my ancestors, but I'm scared of like other spirits, or negative entities coming through or something, like it's okay. Like have faith in yourself to be able to protect yourself, as well as positive forces being able to protect you, and your skills within, using protective amulets or casting a circle or something like that. Or if it's something where it's like, I want to look for a coven, or I want to come out of the broom closet to people, but I don't know how these people will view me. I don't know if a coven will accept me. I don't know if I take this class on candle magic, will I not get along with them? I'm an introvert or something like that. Like, again, have trust. Or what was the other one? Yeah, if you are in a rut, like in a magical rut, whether in general or just with something in particular that you're like, I've casted this spell and it's not working, or I just feel like my intentions aren't going the way I need them to. Again, just have faith in yourself. Have faith in the divine in general, whatever that is for you, whether that is fae, nature spirits, the universe, ancestors, spirits, deity, just have faith. Like, you guys are so powerful. That's something I want you to know. You guys are so powerful, and you have so much ability inside of you. It just takes practice to know how to harness it properly. And that's really the case with anything. We all have I think everybody has a natural talent for magic. I think everybody has a natural talent for, psychic skills. That's something that I'm working on right now. And I don't feel very psychic at all. But I think everybody has a little tiny seeds of psychic ability and magical ability. But it's the same way everybody has a little bit of an ability to play a certain sport or do a certain type of art. But it doesn't matter how much you feel naturally inclined to it. It takes work. And you need to trust that seed is there. That seed is there. You need to work you need to water it. You need to give it sun. You need to balance the pH levels of the soil. It takes work to foster that and help it grow. And so I'm curious if that applies to anybody right now. You don't have to give specific personal details or anything like that, but just let me know in the chat, like, oh my gosh, that makes a lot of sense for me, because that was sort of a collective thing. I think that's also something I needed to hear right now. As soon as I said psychic abilities, as soon as it came out of my mouth, I went, oh yeah, this applies to me right now too, because this is an area where I am feeling very, like, I feel like my intuition in a lot of areas is very weak, I guess. That's something I'm because I'm working through the book Psychic Witch, which I've been saying for months. I'm working through the book. And the reason it's taking me so long is not just because there's a lot of exercises, but because I am struggling with it a little bit. I don't feel like I have a very naturally strong intuition in a lot of areas. sometimes I meet people and I get an impression of them like right off the bat. And then other times, you know, I am prone to rose-colored glasses, whether that's with new friends, new coworkers, a love interest, whatever. Like in my life, I have had that issue, of course. I've had a lot of crappy relationships because of that issue, but but I, not just with that, but just in general, sometimes I'll get this sense of something and go, oh my gosh, like I just know that something's gonna happen. Like I'm trying to think of an example, but then it just doesn't happen. And I go, oh, I'm not psychic. I'm just an idiot. Like it's, and so I know I personally get really bogged down with kind of negative thoughts with that, where I struggle a little bit. Good, yeah. I'm really glad. That was also, wow, I was a little bit nervous that I wasn't going to get a straightforward read. And then I was going to have to sit here for a minute, like, all right, you guys, hold on. I got to figure this one out. But it ended up being super straightforward and easy. So, yeah, I like it. So, again, that was the cowrie shell, the star anise, and the pentacle. But which may have different meanings for you on your own. If you want to interpret those on your own with your own meanings, go for it. I do feel like because this is my set and these items have been charged with the specific meanings that I read off of them when I kind of collected them and added them to the set, and I empowered those. So I do feel like that's what applies for this particular reading, but you know, I'm not going to be like, my reading's 100% correct, don't interpret it yourself. Like, go for it. No, go for it. Yes. Is it Taya? Is that how you pronounce your name? Let me know if I'm mispronouncing. I hate when I'm mispronouncing things. But yeah, exactly. Like oh my gosh, I see all the time, and I say this all the time, like use your intuition on things. And I do use my intuition when it comes to, oh, perfect, Taya. Okay, good. I do use my intuition when it comes to feeling out like what items should I use for this spell when I'm trying to figure out a correspondence for something. I can use my gut in certain areas, but when it comes to kind of detecting things outside of myself, I just feel like it comes so easily to some people, and for me it does not. And I'm also trying to I just bought a bunch of stuff. Lena's about to bark, just warning you guys now, so if you have headphones in, just be aware. Lena, whoa, I know, it's a scary person walking by. There's nobody even walking by. I don't know what she's probably a squirrel. Anyway, I just feel like there's this brick wall around me when it comes to the outside world and using my, like I'm pretty good with reading energies off of things, but when it comes to just sensing certain things, or oh, that's what I was saying, is I'm trying to get better at remembering my dreams. So I've been, you know, dream journaling, and I bought I actually have a couple of haul videos that are going to come out soon, because I found this one of them in particular. I mean, I like both of the shops, but one of them I bought a lot of stuff from for helping with lucid dreaming and helping to remember your dreams, you know, dream recall. And that's just one thing I just, for years, I used to be so good, I could remember all of my dreams. And now I don't know what happened, but one day I just like, there was like a year or two where I just pretty much like stopped dreaming. I mean, I didn't stop obviously, because you're always, you dream all the time, but like I just, nothing. It was, I couldn't even get that sense of like, oh, okay, I just have the tiny last little wisps of memory of what I dreamt about, or like the leftover feeling from it. It was like nothing. I would close my eyes, fall asleep, wake up. That was it. It was just a blank space. And so there's things like that where I do get frustrated with. And yeah, it feels like it's really easy for some people. And I know some people who can just like lucid dream so easily. They remember all of their dreams. They can lucid dream. They can astral travel. That's another one that I'm just like, I cannot. I don't know how people do it. So I'm working on it. Those are areas I'm really working on right now, and I am feeling a little frustrated, but I'm working on them. So I needed that reading as well. Kara says, yeah, exactly. And especially, yeah, when I'm learning something new, whether it's in the craft, sometimes I just get frustrated. Because there are some things that come super easily to me. Like, I'm not trying to sound cocky when I say this, but like when I got into acting, when I first got into acting in elementary school and then pursued it further in junior high once they actually had like drama classes. Oh man, I was like getting praise like right off the bat. I mean, I had been getting praise for that since I was a little kid, but from my grandparents who are supposed to praise you and everything you do. But but I got praise right off the bat when I started it in college. When I acted through high school, when I started acting in college, I just started getting lead roles left and right in main stage productions. I had people asking me, "Hey, I'm putting on this play as part of the after school club. You know, can you be in it?" It came so easily to me, and when you're very like successful naturally in a certain thing, it does. I mean, I've always had things in my life that I did have to work at for sure. So it's like a balancing thing. But sometimes I look at a skill like that and I'm like, damn it, why can't everything just be that easy? But even then, I mean, I majored in acting, I in theater with a focus on acting, and I still had to work really hard, and I did improve over time. It wasn't just this whole like, I'm just naturally talented. No, I still, had to work at it, had to take classes and get tutors and not tutors, what are they called? No, like a acting like mentors, and anyway, that's just an example. Anywho, unless somebody wants a specific reading or has another question, I think I'll go ahead and wrap it up for the morning. I'm always happy to be here. So I love doing the live streams and just hanging out with you guys. So thank you so much for coming. I'm sorry it was kind of a slow day, kind of a slow, relaxed day, but I think next month we'll start at 9 a.m. and I'll be more awake. And I think we'll kind of gather some more people in the chat as well. So we'll have more questions and more ongoing discussion and things like that. I'm gonna give it just a moment longer while I take a sip of coffee and a sip of water. And if there's nothing more in the chat, then I will leave you to your Sunday or your in-laws, if that's the case. I know there's a bit of a delay, so that's why I'm kind of stalling. Give people time to hear what I said and then type if they need to. I'll definitely. Oh yeah, no, I'm just happy. Like, pop in whenever you guys can. If you don't, if you can't tune in right at the time we start, that's, you were late. How dare you? No, I'm just kidding. I'm always just happy when people pop in, and sometimes people have to leave early. No worries. Like I said, I just enjoy hanging out with you guys and kind of getting to have a back and forth, as opposed to like I mean, I like the comments in the comment section, and we can kind of go back and forth in there as well. But there's a different thing to it. I hope someday I want to do like a giant meet and greet and be like, all right, here's a US city. Can we all meet there? I really want to do that because there's just so many of you I've connected with, and I would love to get to know and actually meet in person, and like once we're all vaccinated, I want to give you a hug and things like that. But yeah, so I'm trying to remember. I said I was going to put Mickey Mueller in the description box. I know there was like a couple. I'll have to rewatch the whole dang thing now. I know there were some other things I was like, I'll put this in the description box for you guys to see later, and now I totally forgot. Remind me in the chat and I'll find it. Okay, in the chat or the comments, if it was something that you were like really looking forward to seeing a link to. Oh, thank you, Kyle. I'm so glad you could tune in. And I'm glad you're learning. Let me know if you ever have like a request or something. If there's a specific topic you want me to cover, I do take video requests. Sometimes they take a little while for me to get around to. I'm sorry, but I do usually eventually get around to everything. And have a wonderful day. Okay, guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you so much for tuning in. Good luck with the in-laws. And I'm still laughing over that. But otherwise, I will see you all. Oh, actually, sorry. I keep like going to end it and then remembering something else. So next month, 1, 2, 3. So June 20th. June 20th will be our next live stream. And let's plan for 9 a.m. I'm going to have to update everything so everybody's on the same page. Like, we're starting at 9 a.m. But yes, Sunday, June 20th, 9 a.m. I will see you guys all there. I always forget how to end this. Okay, bye guys. I'll see you all soon. Thanks for tuning in.